Good morning, this is Justin Parsons with a breaking news report. Reports are coming in now of a large explosion in the city shopping centre. Police, fire and ambulance services have been called to the scene where it's believed that a chemical tanker has exploded underneath the shopping centre. It's not known at this stage just how many casualties there are, but police are said to be evacuating the site in an effort to minimise and further prevent casualties. A fire is now reported to be raging from the underground car park area where the tanker is said to have entered and exploded. We will now go to our reporter Jenny Baldwin, who will tell us more.
At 10:30 a.m, a chemical tanker crashed into the city shopping centre. Emergency services arrived quickly at the scene.
Well, I was just walking past the underground car park and there was this tanker truck and it was going so fast. It was going too fast for the corner that it took into the car park. It just ploughed straight through this small car. The tanker was just out of control. People go fast around here all the time, but he could have been drunk.
I didn't really know what was happening, so I'd just been shopping, actually. And I was heading back to my car, and all of a sudden we hear this explosion. And I'm looking around, and nobody's quite sure what's going on, and then the car park just fills up with smoke. It was all panic. As I say, we hit the floor as soon as we saw the smoke, and from then on it was just manic. There was no order whatsoever.
So there was an absolutely massive explosion, just hit a really loud bang. Everybody was going mental, running around in all different directions trying to get out, but obviously we couldn't all get out of the same door, so the crowds and the queues was getting huge. And there was just loads of crowds. I could see smoke like coming up through the floor, and I was looking up behind me and I could see like more smoke coming out of the top. I actually thought that the building might fall down at one point.
It was horrible. It was every man for himself, really. You don't expect things like that to actually happen, and you hope that common decency will become apparent, but that wasn't the case at all. We were just scrambling to try and get back to our cars, as I say, and close all the windows and hope to get away from this smoke.
We're all directed out of the shopping centre by people in these like bright tops.
It didn't take very long for the police and ambulances and the fire brigade to turn up, but they just cordoned off everywhere and moved us all away.
Due to concerns over further explosions and toxic smoke, the police have set up a half-mile perimeter. The shopping centre and surrounding areas have been evacuated and casualties are being attended to. The number of casualties remains unconfirmed. However, we do know that there are a large number of people who have been critically injured.
I didn't see anybody actually get injured, and we were fine, but I did hear that apparently there was some people in the basement, and there was the driver, and he was just like completely covered in blood, and they were down there as well, some other people in the basement, and they was also just, you know, like covered in blood.
The driver of the tanker has been identified as an employee of Criminology, a specialist transportation and logistics company. It is still unclear as to why he turned into the car park or how the crash occurred. Police are working with Criminology to identify the cause of the incident.
It's too early at this stage to identify the cause of the explosion or to hypothesise on what might have happened. However, we are working with the chemical company Criminology to identify the member of staff involved and gain his account from what's happened today. We're not aware of any fatalities at this moment in time. However, there are a number of walking wounded that are currently being treated at Derby Royal Hospital. We are now being advised to urge any members of the public that were involved in the incident at the time to visit their local walking centre just to be checked over for any potential smoke inhalation and to be given the all clear and make sure that they're okay.
The shopping centre will be closed for the foreseeable future due to extensive structural damage. The economic impact of this is devastating for both local businesses and the city as a whole.
Now, as you are hearing, we have a breaking news story. Reports have confirmed that a chemical tanker has exploded underneath the city shopping centre. We're now joined by Leah Sharp of the chemical company Criminology. Now Leah, as you can see, there's some very upsetting scenes from the city. Do you have any information on what could have happened?
I would like to take this opportunity to reassure the public that we are cooperating fully with the emergency services, but at this time I have no information.
Okay. Now obviously, we're grateful for your reassurance, but the public will undoubtedly have questions about this incident, and there is a fire raging in the centre of the city caused by one of your tankers. Do you think this is a vehicle malfunction?
All of our vehicles are regularly maintained and checked for any problems, so that any problems that are found are kept to a minimum and dealt with early. However, it is down to the mechanics as to how well maintained these vehicles are kept.
Right, okay. But this isn't the first time an incident like this has happened with one of your tankers, is it? 2 years ago there was a similar incident on a much smaller scale. Are the two incidents related?
At this time I can't comment any further.
Can you tell us anything about the driver? Do you even know who was driving?
Yes, and the family have been informed, and I would ask at this time that you respect their privacy.
Okay. Now we're getting reports that eyewitnesses are saying that the driver was on his phone at the time of the incident. Can you comment on that?
Well, as with other companies in this country, we abide by the health and safety laws, and we do have some of our own health and safety policies too. One of them being that, due to the sensitive nature of our products, the drivers are contactable at all times.
Okay, and would you say that the training that your company provides is adequate?
At this present time, I have no new information.
Well, thank you for your time. We will return for further information later on today. Now, on to our other news stories.